Alright, as you can see, I pretty much have all the covers off the bike. So basically the next step I have to do is start disconnecting all like the electrical stuff. So I'm gonna have to disconnect the ignition system right here. I'm gonna replace that. I'm gonna upgrade it. You know, I'm probably gonna get the Dyna ignition system and get some better coils, anyways. So I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna disconnect this oil pressure switch right here. Disconnect that. And then on this side of the bike, obviously, you know, I gotta disconnect the stator, and right here I believe is the neutral switch wire that leads underneath the engine. So I'm gonna have to disconnect that from the bottom of the engine, and then I'm gonna disconnect the starter, pull the starter out. Here's the starter wire right here. And I believe that's, you know, all the electrical that I believe. So once I get all that, then that cover will be free. I'll be able to you know, pull that out, disconnect that, so that's taken care of. And then pretty much I can start working on getting this all these bolts off the case, and split the case, and can finally see the bottom end. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. So you know, I'm gonna disconnect the pressure gauge right here, that too. But yeah, so once I do that, I'm gonna get all the bolts off, and then I'll be able to split this case and see what it looks like in there. So, and you know, check everything, you know. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna start disconnecting all the electrical stuff. Alright guys, I'm gonna start disconnecting all the electrical on the engine. Basically, I want to get this wire harness out of here. I'll keep this wire harness together with like the stator and all that. But before I do that, I have to disconnect two wires. Well, I'm not really. Well, I have to disconnect it from the engine. I'm going to disconnect the oil pressure oil wire and the neutral wire that leads to the bottom of the bike, and then it will all be connected together in one piece. So I'm just going to leave it all together. I'm not going to disconnect any of this crap right here. I'll leave all that together, and then once I do that, I'm gonna pull the starter out. That's really easy. It's just two bolts, looks like, and the power wires right here, and I'll just pull that out, and then I'll work on the ignition timing over here. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna start disconnecting. It's just like a little bolt right there. I think it's got to loosen up, and should pop right out. So I'm gonna do that and then move on. Alright, I'm taking off this oil pressure oil wire. Basically, I just used a crescent wrench, and what I did was just, you know, loosen it up. I already got it loose. And it pops right up. I'm going to leave it connected. What I'm doing is I'm going to disconnect right here, and then I'll be able to pull this wire out right here, and then this will be free, and I'll keep this all together. I'll label the wires, you know, just make sure I'll put it all back together exactly. You know, that's why I take pictures, videos, you know, label, bag, you know, everything. So when I put everything back together, I'll know exactly where everything goes. So that's basically what I'm doing. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. I'm gonna disconnect, pull that wire, and then I'll be free. Alright, as you see, I got the oil pressure wire disconnected. It's right there. Now moving on, the last wire is this neutral wire right here. You can see I got the engine tilted over a little bit, and it's a Phillips head screw. And in order to loosen this bad boy up, I had to hit it with my impact driver. But like every Phillips on this bike, Phillips head screw on this bike, you can't do it by hand. But as you can see, she's free. Here's the little tiny screw right there. She's free, and see, she's free now. So everything is disconnected off the stator cover. I'm gonna leave everything bolted inside there. I'm not gonna touch anything. I'm gonna connect again the oil pusher wire, so that will be connected. And that screw right there, that little tiny baby screw, I'm gonna put right back in there so I know where it is, so I know where it goes. And then yeah, so I'm gonna move on to the starter next. Alright, as you can see, I got the stator cover completely off. All the wires still connected. I reconnected the oil pressure wire. Here's the neutral wire right here, and then I left all these other wires intact. So that's completely off the bike now. I can put that. I'm gonna put that away for now. Now I'll move on to the starter motor. Here's the two bolts, 10mm bolts I took out. They're both right here, one right there. It's going to take some finagling to get the starter motor out. You got to push it all the way back. See how it's all the way back? You can see right there, right down there is where these bolts usually match up. And you got to get it past this little bolt right here for the case, looks like. But yeah, once you move that back there, the starter motor should just pop right out. So you can see it's pretty much free now. Now I just got to fish that wire through. But yeah, so it didn't take me too long to fish that, to figure it out. Probably like a couple minutes. But yeah, it's this little notch right here that kind of catches it. So you gotta kind of push it back all the way, and then that gear will pop out. That's the hard part, is that gear. And here's the other gear I just took off that goes right in there. But I just took it out, and it probably didn't matter anything, but I just took it out to make it easier. But yeah, so starter's out. I'm gonna fish that wire through, and then the starter will be completely out. Alright, now I'm gonna get this ignition system out of here. Basically, I just hit it with my impact Phillips screwdriver right here. There's three Phillips heads. One here, one there, and then one right here. So I'm just gonna pull these out. I kind of already got them started. And each one has a washer, so save those. Get this one right here. Alright, there's the three Phillips. See how it's free. Now we got to get this center nut off of here. So I'm going to get the socket and get that out, and then this should just pull right out. So I'm going to get that right now. Alright, now I'm just getting this little center nut out of here. It's just a 10mm. If it's too tight and it keeps turning the engine over, just get crescent wrench, throw it on this outer, and then pop it loose. That's what I did. I didn't have to use that, but just in case. So I'm just gonna get it loose. There should be a washer behind here too, so make sure you find that. There's the nut right there. Yep, see, there's the washer, just fell out. So you want to save that. Just throw that right back in there. Nothing there. And then the ignition should just the ignition system should just pop right out. And there you go. and then you just have to feed the wire through this hole right here, and then she'll be free. So, yep. So I'm gonna pull that out, and she'll be good to go. Alright, as you can see, I pulled it through the little hole. The whole little tiny holes right there. That's where this long wire goes. Hooks up to the electrical, your coils and stuff. But yeah, here's the ignition timing plate. I'm going to replace that with the new Dyna ignition system. And then next is your is this guy right here. I don't know, your ignition cam, or I don't know what I forget what it's called, but this pops right out. And there's, see the little notch right there? That notch goes right in that hole. I believe once you get a new cam, see how it's in, it just pops right out. It's in there now. You can see it, the mechanism's working. But yeah, I believe it comes with a new puck. So once I get a new ignition, so I'm gonna replace that, and that's pretty much it for over here. I'm gonna tag and bag everything: screws, the bolts, nuts, washers, everything. Throw in a bag and label it, and that's that. Now I'm taking off the pressure gauge right here. I just screwed, loosened up the top right here, and the top will pop off. And then I loosened this guy up right here, and just spins right off. And there you go. So I'll connect that again. There's your pressure gauge. So that's off. Yep, there's that. Alright, as you can see, I got all the electrical and the pressure gauge off, all the covers off the bike. But I'm starting to look a little bare, a little bit. Yeah, it's really easy getting everything off. No problems, no issues so far, so that's really good. But next, before I split the case, I'm gonna have to get the gear shift and drum stopper assembly off. I'm gonna have to get take all that off. Yeah, so that's my next step, I believe. So once I do that, and then I'll move on to something else, and then hopefully I can get this split this case, and I can check it out on the inside. And then I'm gonna repaint everything, make sure everything's good on the bottom end, and then I'll start putting everything back together. But before I obviously do that, I will know what I'm gonna do with this engine. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. So, but yeah, it's getting there. Here's all the engine pieces up here. You can see my workbench is getting really packed here. Here's the valve cover, the hoses. Here's the clutch cover, points cover, the head, cam towers, oil filter, pressure gauge, starter, the transmission cover. Here's the clutch cover, stator housing right here with all the wires attached. Good to go. Here's everything I bag and tagged. Like, here's all the ignition system stuff. Just bag. I'm gonna get a bigger, a real workbench, and lay everything out on a bigger table, and really, make everything a lot neater. And it's pretty cluttered, but yeah, I'm moving along pretty good. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm calling it a night. Like I said, next I'm gonna working on that gear shift and drum assembly right here on the bottom. And then yeah, that's that. And then yeah, I'll move on to something else. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I hope you enjoy watching these videos. Feel free to subscribe, comment below, and catch you next time.